Hello everyone, Johnny Mind here, and today we continue to learn Japanese while playing The Legend of Zelda. Last time we did level 4 and started level 5, so today we'll continue level 5 and then go from there. Okay, let's start the game. As you might have noticed, we heard the sound effect and the left side changed color because this time I've already connected the Famicom controller for the second player in case we need it. Wait a moment, okay. Everything. Okay, everything seems to be fine now. Okay, so we can start the game. We actually have to load our save file since, as I mentioned, we only started level 5 and so I saved this way. Okay. Level 5, we are back. First and foremost, let's try to get back to the spot where you could increase the number of bombs you carry. We need 9 more rupees. And depending on, let's see if the Dodongos are back or not. Hopefully not. Okay. And that's also the reason why I saved this way to avoid such things. Hopefully. Not sure since we did die last time to get back to the entrance. Yeah, the Dodongos are back, so we need more bombs also. Let's try to get some. Okay. Let's see. Okay, first and foremost, some rupees. Those are definitely welcome. Some hearts, rupees, even more rupees, so we are quite close to having the amount required. Let's see if defeating these Gyptos can give us something. Okay, we are good as far as rupees go. Okay, and even bombs. Okay, so let's go back to the Dodongo room. Let's go here. Okay. Let's take out our bombs. Be careful since we only have one spare one. I'd rather not use it if possible. Anyway. Okay. Only one Dodongo left. Okay. Perfect. Just one last bomb and we are done. Perfect. Oops. Let's change back. Maybe the kind of don't remember if the next room is dark. Nope. So I know for sure what the next room has for us, in store for us. actually. Ooh, nice a fairy. That is quite helpful. Oops. Yeah, not this one. The next one. Let's see what we can get from the Gyptos. Yeah, the sword rays are quite useful. Nice, some bombs. Always useful. Okay. Nothing else. And I think we don't need the candle. And yeah, of course, now we have the infamous room with the dark nuts. Okay. Let's make use of our sword beams. And again, I'm definitely rewinding if needed. In this case, if we get hit at all and lose our beams, what is helping us to make it at least somewhat faster than last time. Of course, if I can hit any of them. Oh boy, one. Okay, perfect. Let's rewind here. Of course, I have to avoid them all, not just the one on top. Oh, they're surrounding me. Yeah, of course. Okay. Let's do not like this, but like this. Oh boy. Okay, we somehow managed to avoid them all. Of course, then as soon as I say it, I get hit. Okay, one more hit. Nice, we got rid of one, so now it's getting somewhat easier. There's another one. Oh boy. Let's avoid that. Okay. Perfect. Let's get rid of these ones. Okay. Perfect. I also got some rupees, which are quite useful considering what we want to do. And of course also all the items after that. Now, I think the bomb increase is this way. The other one should be the hint. Yep. And here it is. Now we can carry 12 bombs. So it will be much easier if we encounter more Dodongos and so on. Okay. I think we've done everything here. Let's just check to be sure. Yeah, here was the item. Not dealing with those dark nuts again. As a reminder, last time we got the dungeon item, which was the recorder in English, while in Japanese it's Fue flute. Okay. This was the room that I didn't understand why I didn't open it. Maybe I have to bomb the wall. Maybe I tried, but I failed, so it's time. Let's try to push the blocks, and if that doesn't work, then bomb. So it's weird to say the least. Yeah, no. Let's see if bombing the wall works. Yep. That was the solution. And so we could have actually avoided the longos, but oh well. Lucky they didn't take much time. Right. Okay. Up here should be the room with the dodongos. We don't have to deal with them anymore. Oops. Let's see. We tackled all these rooms, so we have to go up. And we should find the continuation of the dungeon. Okay. To the left should be where the map used to be. But let's check. Just to be sure. Yes. And though, of course, I have to write it up. Yep. It's the dungeon map room. So let's continue up. Oh boy, more dark nuts, but luckily weaker ones this time. So doesn't help fighting them in such a room. Yeah, now that we have a stronger sword, they're much easier than before. Okay, we got the compass, and so we can see where the Triforce piece is. Oops. So I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's the way. Okay. Get a key. And also we get some false voices, so it was a good idea already connecting the other controller, and let's get rid of them. Okay. Let's see. Hello. 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 Let's get ready. Okay. Okay, now we are. Now that we have defeated the boss boys, we are back to our usual microphone. Okay. Let's get rid of these Gyptos. Okay. Perfect. Let's get our key and continue. Oh boy, we have other pulse voices, so let's again switch the microphone. Okay. Let's see how it works. Sorry, but not sure why last time it worked when I said hello, but actually you have to blow into the microphone clearly. And here we have the boss, but first let's check the room at the bottom. Okay, we just have some enemies. Some gyptos, so luckily we can get rid of them quickly. It's not like the dark nuts before, luckily. Those are quite the pain. Wish they dropped some hearts, but unfortunately they didn't. So yes, we have Dig Dogger, and to defeat this boss we have to use the dungeon item. So it turns this way, and now we can hit it with the sword. Okay, let's go back here. Oops. Okay, let's go back to when we turned it this way. Please, let's avoid getting hit by the boss, as that's clearly too much damage. Better to get one ray than the boss. Okay, not this way, maybe. So, yeah, fortunately. Let's go back to 2 hits. Of course, not like this. Okay. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's get back to the start of the fight and try to avoid some hits first. Okay, not like this. Okay, we got pushed into the boss. Let's try to... not like this. Oh boy. Let's restart here. Okay, let's be careful. That is not what I've just done. Okay. Now this race without the shield, quite a pain. Okay. Just avoid that, and like that. Okay. Now it even gives us a fairy, okay. And the rays keep coming, so let's leave. Okay. We did it. Yeah. Okay. And we're back in the overworld. Yeah, at this point I won't hesitate rewinding, since dying would mean losing way too much progress. And if possible, it would be nice to tackle 2 more dungeons tonight, but we'll see. Okay, first and foremost we can start going towards level 6 then. Okay, so... okay. As soon as I get the fairy. Okay. Okay, to get to level 6 we have to go toward the left. But I think we might have to pass a certain place. Well, maybe not. Not in this case. Let's see if we can go from here. Even though, yeah, if you know Zelda 1, you might know what this place is. Okay, let's get the heart this time. No, we have to go from the bottom. But we get a shop with the medicine. We'll avoid it for now because we need the rupees for other items. Okay. You know what? Since we have taken all these hits, I'll die here to go back to the starting point. Yes. Let's continue. Okay. Oops. Okay. Let's get rid of some enemies, easy enemies in the overworld to see if they drop items, especially hearts and rupees. Actually, they are doing so. We can go from here since it's... we can also tackle a certain something. I'll do it immediately before forgetting again. To the right. Fortunately, it's in the exact opposite way compared to where we have to go next, but luckily there aren't... it should be quick enough considering these are early game areas. I wonder if there's a secret here. Oops. Just want to use the... Yeah, as we have just seen, the recorder takes you... summons... takes you to the entrance of previous of dungeons you have visited, but that's not what we want to do now. So let's change item. Actually, bring back out the bombs and try to see if there was anything here. Nope. So let's switch to the candle. Luckily that only has once per screen limit, but you can leave and come back. Here it looks like a place where you could bomb a wall. Let's try. Could be nothing, could be something. Let's see. Nope, nope. Nothing. Let's get back our bombs, since we might need them for a dodong, some dongles or something like that later, Manandla. Okay. Now here... I wonder if there is something, especially in... like here. Nope. Oh well, one bomb I want to rewind. 3 was a little too much. Maybe here. Nope. Let's get back. In this case, since we are about to die. Also get back one bomb. Okay. Nope. Yes, this is what I wanted to get to the most. Of course, let's not die, please. Okay, we got also bombs back. Perfect. Here there's nothing. I think... I don't remember if we've already seen this, so let's check it without dying this time. Get here. Looks like a dungeon, but it actually isn't. It's just a choice between a potion of life, a water of life, as it's called in Japanese, or a heart container. We're getting the heart container, obviously. And so, actually, I think we might have found all the art containers in the game. Of course, except for the ones in dungeons, but we'll see. Okay. Now we actually want to go back to the start. And finally go towards level 6. Okay. Let's defeat again these easy enemies to get items. Easy. Relatively easy, because of course they can still hurt you. When you're so low on health, it's not the best. But of course they're not dark nuts or even gyptos. Okay. There's the shop there, but don't think we can get anything. Let's check, but... yeah, no. The shield unfortunately costs too much. And we might need the money for something even better, honestly. That is a bomb expansion or also a certain something we haven't seen yet. Let's see, one of these bushes, trees, has anything. Doubt it, since there's already an opening. Oops. That way I'm definitely not opening. Okay, like this. Nope. Let's see, here another old woman, another obasan. Okay, let's see if one of these, not like this. Nope. Let's see here on top. Nope. Let's try on the right. Maybe that lone tree there is more likely. We can check immediately while we're here. Nope. Okay, we found some stairs. Unfortunately, we got, but also fortunately, since we haven't seen this message before, this old man says, Doa no shuri dayo o morauzo. Doa, door in English, except as pronounced in Japanese, and since in Japanese there isn't the R sound, it becomes a. So doa. No, so the possessive particle. Shuri. Shuri means to repair. Let's also check some accents while we're at it. Well, doa should be accented on the first one. Okay, now it works. Yes, as we've seen before. Okay, sorry if I didn't speak, but was worried I was checking if everything was all right. Luckily it is. So yes, we have then shuri accented on the first one, the first syllable, which means repair. And if we add the verb suru, which means to do, we get the verb shuri suru, to repair, literally to do a repair. Then we have attached to it dai, which means cost, price, and is a suffix attached in this case to shuri to have the cost of repairs. So the cost of repairs of the door, then the object particle o, also pronounced as the wo, as you might hear in careful speech or singing. So the object, and then we have the verb morau, to receive. Yes, unaccented. And so, and last but not least, we have a sentence final particle, zo, which is usually used by males and adds, in this case, indicates a command, even though globally it becomes I'll get the cost of repairs of the door. As you can see here, the verb is in the dictionary form, morau. The dictionary form is used both for the present and for the future when it's not further specified, as in, for example, we have seen before the volitional form, the one for ru verbs, ichidan verbs in you, for u verbs and godan verbs in changing the vowel in o and then adding u and so long o, which more often than not means let's, but as we have seen, even though I didn't say it the previous times. It can also mean that it's an action that the speaker intends to do themselves. So I will do that action, funnily enough, as in will, more than the generic future seen nowadays in English, in the original meaning of will in English. And so what one wants to do. And so, yes, when it's not further specified in a way like that, or with the conjectural daro, we've also seen that in a previous lesson, we can simply use the dictionary form, usually the present, but also a certain future. A future not specified for the will of the speaker or the conjectural form, and so on. Okay. And yes, we have lost, I think, 14 rupees or something like that. Oh well. At least we learned, we've seen that sentence. Okay, let's continue here. We have some moblins. Actually, quite a lot of moblins. Luckily, there is enough. Okay, we are here now. Let's see, if I go to the very bottom, because up I think I have an idea where that leads us, but I don't remember exactly what's at the bottom. Okay. Lot of moblins. Let's see what's inside here. Again, our old lady or old woman that says that she won't speak for free. And this much isn't enough. Okay, 30 was enough. Let's see if with 50 it changes, but don't think so. Oops, we can't even pay it. Let's try to get some more money and test if 50 says the same thing. I think so. And then, of course, we'll, if it does, we'll pay 30 instead. Okay. Let's defeat some moblins to get the rupees. Okay, we are close. Now here we should be able to get enough. Nope. Let's see. By going back to the bottom. And maybe I'll even deal with some p-hats if necessary. Let's see, let's go to the top. Yeah, this is actually what the hint was about, as we'll see in a second. Here the screen loops. And we'll see why in a second. Let's go. Nope, we can't go up even. We have to leave to the right for now, I think, yes. We are forced to. Okay, let's see now that the moblins are back here. We can get enough. Nope. Everything but rupees, of course. Okay. Let's try to defeat the P-Hats. To defeat the P-Hats, you have to wait until they stop, because otherwise you can't hurt them. Quite different compared to... Nope, but we got at least a lot of health, quite useful. Okay, let's try to go to the right again. Then up. Hopefully 30 will be enough, but of course getting some more rupees since we are about to spend hopefully 30, it's still quite useful. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now that we have 50, let's try to pay that much. And we get this message. I put it like this since we need to pay for the other hint. And funny enough, in this case, the old woman doesn't give you the hint, but says, Anta okanemochi da ne. First and foremost, Anta, which is from Anata. The standard form for you, accented on the second one, on the second syllable. I'm just checking if I can find also for Anta, but nope, it doesn't show, but considering the rule that of the syllable can fall, the accent can stay in, as in the syllable, the pitch can fall after a long vowel, a double consonant, or single n. And so in this case it should be, because it actually stays on syllables. Syllables, just like in English, because there's also another, there are also so-called in Japanese beats, haku, or in English translated as mora, as singular, or moras, morei in plural, because it comes from Latin, and in the Japanese case it's a shorter length of dividing words, which corresponds to practically hiragana and dekana, except for the small yayuyo combinations, because those count as a single one, but everything else, and so all also n and a double consonant count as one mora. But yes, considering that rule, it should be accented on a, anta. So yes, it means you. It's the most common way to say you when you don't, when one doesn't know the other person's name, and it actually is regarded as kind of rude, or at the very least distant, because the actual most common way to say you in Japanese is actually using that person's name, of course, then as usual followed by san or some other suffix for names. And so we have anta, you, okane, which we have seen means from kane, which means money, unaccented, luckily unaccented also when adding the prefix o, the prefix which makes is an honorific, humble, or also in general polite prefix. And more often than not, you'll hear okane instead of just kane. Kane means metal, and by extension, then that by extension becomes money, and so okane, money. In this case, it's actually okane mochi, the word, as it's a compound word of kane, okane in this case, plus mochi should be, yes, mochi accented on the last one, from motsu, the verb which means to carry, to possess, to have. We've mentioned it before when I spoke, when I told, when I taught how you say to have in Japanese. Actually, motsu isn't the most common way, but in such a, it's used in such a compound. So literally, it's a person that carries, and so possesses, has money, and so a rich, wealthy person. Then we have since it's a noun, we have to add the copula, da. You are a rich person, a wealthy person. And last but not least, the sentence final particle ne. In this case, it's I'd say more often than not, ne means is used for confirmation or agreement. And yes, in this case, I'd say that's our case. And so the final translation is you are a rich person, literally someone implied who holds in, so possesses, has money, aren't you? Okay, now that we've seen that, we can go back and actually pay for our hint. And this time she says, Mayoi no mori o kita, nishi, minami, Nishi, e. First and foremost, we have mayoi from the verb mayou. I think unaccented, but of course we'll check. Nope, actually accented. Mayou. Mayou means to get lost. And so, by changing its vowel, it's a U verb, a Godan verb. So, by changing its vowel in I, we get mayoi, and accented on the last one. And just like mochi, we have just seen, by doing this change, we get the noun. So, mayoi would mean more getting lost, and so by extension also doubt, indecision, also illusion. Then we add the usual possessive particle, no. And then we have mori. You might have heard this term in Animal Crossing's Japanese name, Dobutsu no Mori. Animals forest. Because Dobutsu means animal. I'm checking just to be sure the accent, but should be, yes, unaccented. Dobutsu. And then also mori is unaccented. So in our case here, it literally is the woods, the forest of getting lost. And so the classic lost woods seen in Zelda games. We add the object particle o, wo. Then we have a series of words, and at the end the particle e, written as katakana, he. Also, reminder that it's identical in hiragana, he, which means direction, so towards. And so we actually don't have a verb in this sentence because it's implied. And it's something like traversing. Could be in Japanese simply even simply to go, because and so iku, as we have seen, unaccented. Because then we have the object particle, which means passing through, and then the actual directions, passing through the forest of getting lost, the lost woods. And then she gives our directions. We have to go kita, which I'm pretty sure we have seen in the hint, already seen in the hint, to get to level 5. Kita. reminder of the rule that when E or U are between unvoiced consonants, they're barely heard if at all. So kita, unaccented, means north. Then nishi. Let's check the accent. Yes, unaccented. Nishi means west. Then we have minami, also unaccented, which means south. And then again nishi, west. So this old woman says, go through the Lost Woods by going north, west, south, west. Of course, she can't say to go east at any time because, as we have seen, east is the way to leave them without actually passing through them. But of course, since we have just seen all the directions, let's see also, I'll mention also the word for east, which is higashi, also unaccented. So we have kita, north, nishi, west, minami, south, and higashi, east. Okay, we can now leave. Okay. And as now that she has told us how to get through them, these are the Lost Woods, we can do it. So, north, west, south, west. In Japanese, kita, nishi, minami, nishi. And yes, we have gone through the Lost Woods. Let's defeat these enemies, especially the Lionels, which are quite dangerous. So get also some, wanted some hearts first and foremost, but unfortunately they gave us only, let's avoid getting hit too much because I don't want to go through there again. Oh boy. Let's be careful. So honestly, okay, no, we have got a heart at least, okay. And another one, perfect. Yeah, it's relatively close to the entrance, to the starting point, but we'd have to go through the Lost Woods again and so on. Let's avoid it. Okay, in one of these we have the ghosts, but I think it's this one. Nope. It's actually this one, okay. And we get, again, the same message as before. If you are able, if you can master it, I will grant you this. So yes, last time I said let's grant you when we when we got to see the volitional form, but in this case it's more likely I will, in the sense it shows what this person's will is. So I'll give you this, as in the sword, the stronger sword. And if I recall correctly, we should be able to get it. Yes, I think you need 12 hearts, or maybe it was 10. But yes, luckily we have enough anyway. So we finally have the strongest sword in the game, which is quite useful as we now are going towards level 6. I think it's up here. Let's be careful, since there are all these liners. Luckily they should be easier to deal, at least somewhat. Yes, with the strongest sword, of course. Except for the one literally on the stairs, and so... Let's see, yes, nice, the flame was perfect. Be careful. Faster, yes, okay, now it worked. And so we are here. This should be the entrance to level 6. And it is. So I'm taking a break now. We'll be back in 5 minutes and at least start, but hopefully also finish level 6. And we are back. And now let's actually start level 6. Okay. Let's see, we have a locked door and one to the right. Let's see where this one takes us. Okay, we get, of course, let's avoid getting hit by our own flame. And we get a new kind of enemy, Wizards. Okay, let's actually die and go back to 3 hearts at least. Okay. Not sure what I got, maybe some bombs. Okay, we get a key. Before going up at this point, I'm curious, since we have 2 locked doors, let's see where this one leads us. Okay, more wizards. And we've instantly defeated them all. They gave us bombs. Maybe there's a room to the left. Bombable wall. Nope. Let's see if there's one at the bottom. Well, at the bottom it's impossible actually. So let's get back our bombs. Especially since I wasted one for nothing, since the bottom one couldn't be. Okay, we can see where the Triforce piece is, on the opposite side of the map. Okay, we get some bats, but unfortunately also these beams from the statues, which are way more dangerous than the bats. Boy. Fortunately, again, we don't have the shield. Okay, these traps are easy to avoid. Funny enough, we already get a stronger variant of the wizards. Okay. Well, getting in between them isn't the best idea. Okay. You know what? We got some bombs there. Let's use a bomb here. Let's see if it does anything. As soon as I actually... Nope. Let's avoid that. Okay, the bomb was actually perfect there. But then we have to be careful. Let's go this way, okay. Get back our bomb. Let's take out the candle and let's see if that... Yeah, this one can warp, can teleport, but as you have seen, they can still hit you. So they're quite annoying. Okay. Now we have some likes, luckily those aren't particularly difficult, as long as of course something like this happens. Of course it did, because why it wouldn't? Okay, now that we have defeated all the enemies, we can push the block and open the doors. Let's see. More wizards. This little health doesn't help at all. And I think they take 3 hits, even with the strongest sword. I think so. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Even better that we got some rupees. Oh boy, we get a Griok. Defeating a Griok in these conditions isn't easy at all. I think we can maybe do it with... but honestly, I think we might go back to the entrance soon enough. Of course, if we get hit by the head immediately, as soon as it leaves the body, okay. Not this way. Yeah, no. Let's see. Nope. Not even sure if this is the way we want to go first, honestly, because this might lead us to the Triforce piece, which isn't what we need first and foremost. Okay. Defeated the Griok. Okay, we get here. Honestly, I wonder what's if by going down it connects to the other path, because honestly that's worth investigating to see if we can avoid that nonsense on the left next time. Of course, now we have to first and foremost defeat these Wizardrops, which in a room like this one are even more annoying than usual. Okay, let's go this way, but then again down. Avoid getting... Okay, we got rid at least of the easiest one, so we can focus slowly but surely on these ones. Yeah, they even... because of the quote-unquote lava, they warp from one side to the other. Funny enough, I was still able to hit it. Okay, let's go back actually. Not that it changes much, but... funny enough, I think we've just seen that now we can defeat them in one hit without the splitting if we hit them with the sword. Let's check it here. Yep. And so they finally drop items. Okay, it was worth going here since we have a room that most likely leads to some stairs. Of course, now we have to defeat all these enemies and survive. Okay. Nope. Let's see, by doing this, nope. This, nope. Simply avoiding, yes, works. I'd like to get rid at least of the weaker Wizardrop, as that would help us quite a lot. Okay. Now let's try to get rid of this one. Of course, not run into it. And also avoid the bubble, please. Okay. Okay, perfect. Let's see where these stairs lead us. Yeah, I suspect that they could be simply ones connecting somewhere else, but well. Please, let's not die to the bat. Okay. Okay, these ones... these ones... I think we are going to the boss, actually. This point... I don't remember if I saw something else. I mean, if necessary, this time we can first defeat the boss, assuming we are actually able to with such low health, and then get back into the dungeon to see if we can find something else. Okay. Okay, we get another room with ropes, of course. Yeah, that rupee isn't worth it. It's sad, but it really isn't. Okay, now. Yes, perfect. Let's see what's down here. Oh boy, a trap room with ropes. Let's see if we can do it without losing our health, as we need it for the boss. Easier said than done, considering the kind of room. Let's see, if I do this, okay. Of course now, then they get me like that. Yeah, not sure if I can actually do it. Okay, maybe getting a single hit wouldn't be as bad, but... Oops, sorry. Let's see. Okay. That's actually perfect. Nope. Okay, these are almost worked, but unfortunately. Okay. And unfortunately, we have to take most likely at least one hit. Nice that they get stuck like this. Okay. Okay. Oh, we get some bombs. I wonder if... Oops. I was trying to bomb the wall with the candle. So obviously it wouldn't work. Nope. Maybe to the south. Nope. So let's actually keep our bombs. Okay. And I think let's defeat the boss. Yep, it's Goma. Actually, we have our arrows. We have to wait till the eye is open and then shoot an arrow, and luckily, funny enough, the boss is defeated like that. So let's grab our Triforce piece, but then we'll go back into level 6 to see what else we can find inside it. Okay. Let's go back in. Let's wait the loading, of course, since that's because, as I mentioned before, this is a Famicom Disk game. So there was actually a room to the right there. Wonder if we have to go there actually or not. So deal again with... Okay. First, let's turn the lights on. Oops. Okay. Of course, if I can finally stop running into them, literally. Okay. Because I'd rather keep our health. Especially if we have to again defeat the wizards above and the Gliok. Let's see. And we get the old man tells us how to defeat the boss, even though we have already done it. Goma no Meo Nerae. Goma is Goma, his name in Japanese. No, possessive particle. Me means eyes. I in this case. Accented, and I'm pretty sure we have seen it in a previous lesson. Yes, accented. Then the object particle O, wo. And so the eye of Goma, and then the verb nerae from nerau. Let's check the accent. Unaccented, so was correct, nerau. Then we change its U verb, Godan verb, and so we can change the vowel in E to have the imperative aim, aim at in English, in Japanese it's transitive. Aim at Goma's eye. Okay, we got the hint. So I think we have... let's see if we can bomb here. Nope. Let's see if we can bomb here. Nothing. So let's simply leave the room. And we actually have to go back up the other way. We haven't found the dungeon map. Wonder if we can bomb this way instead. Let's try it 1 second. Because while it might be just one... yes. Apparently it's just one... room wide, because we'll see when we get the map the shape of the dungeon. Okay, we've defeated everyone quickly. Okay. Let's see. Of course we get again our room with all the bats and the statues especially, but of course if I can avoid all this damage. Let's go here. take out the boom and throw that. Nope. Getting hit anyway, but at least not as much, maybe. If I can avoid getting... Yeah, of course I'm not avoiding getting hit again, but well, we did it. Let's continue up. We get again this room, and we have to defeat everyone. Since we don't have the shield to lose, getting wasn't better, getting eaten by likes. Okay. Finally defeated everyone. Can go back up here. Like some items, please. Of course, not dying instead. Okay, we can defeat at least. Yeah, no, not like this. Okay. Yeah, we have to be careful about their magic attacks, as they're even stronger than them running into us. Yes, as we barely saw there, but then I wanted to avoid all this damage, because again we might have to face Gleok again, so yeah, not... we need as much health as possible, because if I can avoid doing the same mistake just because I want to get an extra hit. Okay. Okay. And yes, nope, Gleok is gone. Perfect. So it was more like a mid-boss. Nice. Okay. Last time we went down and got to the boss that way. Let's try up first. We get a room. Most likely some stairs as soon as we defeat the enemies. So let's actually keep our health. Might be the dungeon item not required to defeat the boss, but of course it would be nice to have. Okay, some money, which is nice. Okay. Oops, that was just my mistake. Okay, we've defeated the Wizard. And let's see. Yep. Makes sense, considering what that the dungeon enemy is Wizards. We get this item. Let's see its name. Yep. And there it is, Magical Rod. And it's the same in Japanese, of course, just with a slightly different pronunciation. Magical Roddo. Notice the double consonant in the small tsu that doubles the following do, and so do. As a reminder, to pronounce double consonants, you start pronouncing the consonant, then hold it, and then release it. Ro, do. Okay. We can go back to the game. Perfect, that we got the dungeon item, because that's what I wanted to get first and foremost. But we might be able to find also... Let's see one thing though. If by bombing here... Yep. It leads here. Honestly, most likely we could get here anyway, but it's a nice shortcut in case. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we can push these blocks unless... don't remember if we can defeat bubbles in this game. Not like this, I doubt the recorder. Nope. So we should be fine. Okay, a dark room. Of course, immediately some wizards. Of course, why not? An extra key. Nice. Oh boy. Perfectly in the middle of the... Okay, let's avoid that ambush. Okay. Okay, so now we are back to this room here, which connects here. Perfect. I wonder if to the right we can get the map finally. As that's practically the only thing we are missing. Okay. Okay, let's actually go back to the start of the room. Okay, getting rid of one of the stronger wizards. Then the weaker ones. Then the likes. Of course we got hit by the bubbles, so don't have our sword for a short time, luckily quite short. I doubt bombing here takes you there, since that was the boss room, but I'm just curious. Nope. Too good to be true. And we get this. This old man says, Yonsei no Sumanu Izumi Niwa Himitsu ga aru. Yose, as a reminder, O, U, and E, I are pronounced respectively as long O and long E. Some speakers still pronounce E as A, but more in standard Japanese it's long E. Yose, fairy. I think it's unaccented. Yes, it's unaccented. So, then we have the possessive particle no. In this case, it's actually not the usual possessive particle use, but another use of no, which is the it marks the subject in relative clauses. As we see, this first part is a relative clause. you could also mark it as usual with ga, and that would be fine, but there's also this alternative way to do it. And so yes, actually it's Yose, the fairies. Actually the fairy, considering it's usually only one in this game. In Zelda games in general, when it's a fairy fountain. The fairy. Then we have Sumanu from Sumu. Actually, I think it's accented, but let's check. Yes, so actually Sumu. To leave. Then we change the vowel, it's a U verb, a Godan verb, and so we can change its vowel in A. And then in this particular case add Nu. Usually you won't find it in modern Japanese, but because it's actually more a classical way from a classical Japanese, but can be found in fiction, like we've seen here. Nu is a negative, like Nai, but when in a relative clause. So simply it's the negative verb sumu, so not leave, but as a relative clause. Then we have Izumi. Let's see. Its accent. Yes, unaccented. Izumi means spring, fountain, and so fairy fountain. In this case, a fairy fountain, but the sentence says the spring where where the fairy doesn't live. Then we have ni, the particle which marks the place, the location at which something exists, because if when it's a verb of action, it's marked with de instead, combined with the topic particle wa. So, as for the spring where a fairy doesn't live, Himitsu. Let's check the accent. Unaccented, okay. Himitsu means secret. Is another word for secret. Actually, when speaking of secrets in general, it's more common than the one we have seen before, because the other one is more used in the expression we've seen, keep it a secret. The other word was naisho. marked, then we have the subject particle ga. So in this case, most likely they wanted to avoid having two ga. You could have them, but since they could, they avoided them, and so replace the first one with no in the relative clause, and then the verb aru. To exist, there is in this case. So the translation is, as for the spring where a fairy doesn't live, there is a secret there, implied, because okay, and this is the hint that will lead us to level 7. I wonder where the map is. Nope. We can kind of see it here, that fortunately it's not complete, and but the shape of this dungeon is kind of a dragon, and so it's called dragon usually. Okay, let's see. Let me check a second where the map should be. Okay, the top part should be fine. Let's see. That's where you get let me check. Huh, okay. Apparently we simply missed it because we took the other way. It should be here. It should be here when you defeat the enemies. So, funny enough, if we went back, when going back we defeated the enemy, we would have found it naturally. But oh well. And yes, this is the shape of the dungeon, the dragon. Let's go this way. Let's ignore. Yeah, no, let's please ignore the wizards, or even defeat them, but this point even defeat them, but simply without getting hit, or like this. Okay. Let's see. And at least one hit we have to take it. And that one, please. Okay. Let's try to defeat these two without getting hit, okay. And let's backtrack to the entrance. Oh boy. I'm actually taking the wrong way, so let's go back. Let's ignore. Okay. Yeah, this way is the one to the boss, which we don't have to go now. Let's go back here. At this point, dying is faster, honestly. Okay. So let's leave the dungeon. Okay, we definitely don't have time to tackle the next dungeon fully, if at all. So let's check around here in the overworld instead, and of course at least get to the next dungeon so we can tackle it next time. I don't remember. Yeah, that one. I wonder if one of these armors has something. Not these ones. Okay, not these ones either. Nope. Let's try the last one. At this point, I think they're just here as an obstacle. Yes. Let's avoid that. Let's go here. Maybe it was one. Ah, yes. Okay, it's that one. Let's avoid waking up other armors. Which has this item. Let's check it. Okay. The power bracelet. Same in Japanese, simply with the pronunciation changes. Power, because again, there isn't a R sound in Japanese, and so it becomes long I in this case. Power buresuretto. Again, we have a double consonant at the end. Power buresuretto. Okay. So with that, of course, let's try to avoid getting hit by... Okay, once is fine, but... So we could actually move the rock there, but first I would like to see what's here. Okay, a shop, but we can get anything for now. Wanted to get the shield, but we can't. Okay, here. Nothing. Let's see. Nope. Let's try going down here. I'd like to check this area before dying. Ah yes, we actually go back here. So, perfect. In case we have to go back here, we can take this path instead. But we can with the power bracelet we can actually do a certain something also. Not this way, I think. Let's try. Okay, we got one. Nope. It's a door repair, so actually let's ignore it. Or better, I'll open it to remember that to not open it again. Oh boy. All those liners. All the sprite flickering because there's too much going on. Yeah, unfortunately, defeating one and getting the heart without assuming it still drops one isn't easy. Let's see if with the new item we can do it. Yes. Perfect. Yeah, it was worth getting. Definitely worth getting. Let's see. There's something down here, but I doubt it. Nope. Let's get back our bombs. Here it seems like there could be something. Let's see. I'd like to at least go back, find the way to Dungeon 7. Nope. Only wasted quite a lot of bombs. So let's actually ignore that. Let's see if we can push one of these rocks while avoiding these enemy attacks. Nope. Maybe I have to defeat all enemies, but I'm not sure. Honestly, it's not worth risking. Okay, let's actually, at this point, I wanted to actually get, show what we can use the power bracelet for at this point. And yes, we'll actually get to level 7 and tackle it next time also. But let's see if I can get where I wanted to go. Maybe up here. Nope. This is that place. I think I have to go down. Yes, it's that side. Fortunately surrounded by Lionels. But we can defeat them. Okay, now there are less of them on this side. Nice. Nice that we got also some money. Okay. Okay, you can push the rock even without that. Okay, so we can see what this old man says. Skina Michio Yuke. Again, we have ski. Liked as an adjective. Accented on the second one. Also because, of course, the is barely heard, if at all. Being between unvoiced consonants. And it's a so-called na adjective, so we have to use the copula when it's at the end of the sentence, and na when it's before and modifies a noun. So in this case, we have na, skina, michi. Michi, I'm pretty sure it's unaccented, but I'll check it. Yes, it's unaccented. And means road, path, street, in general, road. Also, of course, by extension, route, way. So we have the path you like, the liked path, the preferred, we could say also, path. Then we have the object particle o. And last but not least, the verb yuke, from yuku, alternative form of iku, to go. It's a u verb, a godan verb, and so by changing the vowel in e, we get the imperative form in plain speech. So this old man is saying, go the path you implied prefer. Literally, go the preferred path. Go the path you like. Okay, and so yes, this is actually a shortcut, and you can take one of these to go elsewhere. In this case, it is here, but it didn't show up. Huh. Ah, because it was already there. I was wondering what those stairs were. Okay, this one leads here. And this one leads here. Okay, this time let's actually die. So we can finally save. Oops. We can save this way. In Japanese it actually says owaru. Pretty sure we have said it was unaccented. Yes, unaccented. And it means to end, to come to an end. So it's the intransitive form of the verb to end. And so we'll choose it. And so it's saving. Yeah, we died quite a lot even by rewinding in those occasions. And if we continue it, just to check, we see that yes, it's perfect. It's perfectly fine. So I'll actually go back to the title, open it again, save as soon as it loads here, also this way, just to avoid potentially reloading that one. And so yes, oops, accidentally pressed it again. But let's go back. Let's close. And yes, we finished level 5, did level 6, several things in between in the overworld. And so next time we'll go toward level 7 and then tackle that and then go on from there. Okay. See you next time.